Hey, everyone. This is your girl, Christy Angelie, and I want to say welcome to another day for the AuthorTube tour. I am so excited that you guys are with me. I am so grateful that you decided to show up on another week, right? To enjoy all of the yumminess that I have to share for the book that I have written, and for you guys who have been rocking with me since day one, since April 1st. I love you all. Thank you so much for being a part of this particular, AuthorTube tour that is virtual. It has been an experience. I promise you it has been. And I am so grateful for everything that has taken place, for the people that have been participating, for the audience, I would say, the love, the questions, the feedback, the authors that have graced the stage with me and just poured out, poured from their expertise as being an author, being a writer. So you guys, it has been a phenomenal experience, and I just love you guys. And you all know how we do. You know what it is. It is time for us to go and tag our YouTube buddies to let them know that it is time for the tour. Bring them in the room. Let them know, come on in. The water is fine. We are here to learn. We are here to share. We are here to just gain insight as a writer. Let me know in the comments if this is your first day with me, your first week with me. Also, let me know if this is your third week with me. And let me know if you have been here with me all month long. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just share and welcome everyone in the room, the newbies, and as well as those that are my OGs. If you have been with me, I want to welcome everyone in the room. I want you to welcome everyone in the room, make them feel comfortable, make them feel as if they're a part and that they're not missing out, because guess what, you guys can go back and binge watch as you do Netflix, right? Binge watch the AuthorTube tour so that you can get all of the yumminess from day one all the way up to this last week. It's bittersweet, you guys. I'm like, it's so hard to say goodbye, but I'm excited. It's not a goodbye. It is just the new beginning of a beautiful relationship that I am so excited to share with you all. And you know what else we do? It's time to dance. We got to set the atmosphere right. We got to make sure that we are in this space the right way. So as I get our music together, okay, go ahead and get your dance moves together. Do whatever you decide to do to make this a more comfortable space for you. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. Are you ready? Because I am ready. I only have like a couple of dance moves that I do, but that's okay. If you're like me and you don't really have a lot of dance moves, it's okay. Just do what you do, right? And have fun doing what you do. Are you ready? Let's get this music turned up just a little bit. All right. About this AuthorTube tour, because it's not just for me, it is for you too, okay? It is for you to gain insight, to gain wisdom, to gain the resources that you are in need of to make it as a writer. And that's what it's all about on today. It's making it as a writer. We're going to give you a few more seconds to show those dance moves. We're going to give you a few more seconds to get yourself acclimated with the atmosphere. Get your tea, because I know it's time for somebody to get some snacks, right? Get your tea, get your coffee, get your popcorn, get your pen, get your notepad, and whatever you need in order to experience everything that this AuthorTube tour is going to bring to you in, my Q&A from my book excerpt reading. So I'm going to be, sharing some of the whys or, just whatever questions that you have that I am going to answer on today. today. And if you don't have any specific questions, then guess what? We're going to still answer questions that the general audience may have about my writing or the story. You have been reading this book, and you have been getting a lot of great information, and you really want to ask those questions. Some of the questions may be a little personal questions, but it's okay. We're going to answer those questions as well, right? So just a few more seconds, and then we are going to take a break so we can reset ourselves and then get ready for the next part of the AuthorTube tour. All right, I see you. And we are getting ready to get to the next part. So guess what, you guys, if you have not been following me or been a part of the AuthorTube tour, you have been missing a wonderful treat. Y'all, it has been filled with powerful, transformative information. I've had on this past weekend, I had the pleasure to share the stage with the one and only Mystique Steele Rose. Her name is actually, that's her publishing company, but her name is Portia Mystique. She is the CEO of Mystique Steele Rose Publishing, and she is a phenomenal, not only writer, but a publishing company that you can go to if you want your book published. She is full of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and just compassion and the know-hows of getting your book out there. So the ins and outs of everything that you are needing to know about publishing your book. She is your go-to coach, your expert, and also she is a TEDx speaker, and I had the pleasure of having her on my show or on this tour with me to share into your hearing what it means to make it as a writer. And I'm telling you, she poured out some amazing tools and resources that you will need. And we talked about some really deep questions about being Black American in Nigeria. She's in Nigeria. She moved to Nigeria, and she's married, and she's a writer, author. She's a coach. She's an expert in her field, in her industry in Nigeria. And we talk about how that looks in being a writer, because we all have some places that maybe we relocated. And if not, I'm one that relocated. I relocated from Alabama to Texas. And so that was a huge change. But from going from one whole country to another country, now that right there takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of boldness and confidence and just assurance about yourself. And so we talked about a lot of good, making it as a writer, tips and know-hows and how to, all of these things. So if you have not caught that, AuthorTube, you want to go back and watch that, right? You want to go and look at that. You want to make sure that you're taking notes, because you need a pen and paper for that one. And not only that, I had before that, author Aisha Taylor, phenomenal. She has a book called Navigating the Impossible, right? Have you been in some impossible places? Have you been, in some impossible, challenges or go-throughs or in your relationship, on your job, just within self, some impossible places. So she talks about navigating the impossible and what that looks like in making it as a writer. We have you covered. I'm telling you, I have you covered on every angle when it comes to writing, when it comes to making it, realizing your purpose in business and realizing your I can in purpose, business, and family. So I have you covered on every angle. And so listen, I have the opportunity now. This is my greatest pleasure here to be able to open up this AuthorTube tour, especially the conversational part with the panelists that I've had with my own sister, I have a sister as an author. Like, my sister is a legit author, a legit writer. She is dope with the children's book, right? And she has been pouring amazing messages into her book. Not only messages, but the way she writes her book, it helps children to grow, learn, develop. It also helps bring in the parent-child relationship and learning how to see your children as an adult now, like from your eyes, seeing the children, when you were a child and the things that you liked and how your parent may have, told you not to do something or didn't want you to wear shoes, not wear shoes outside or go play in the mud puddle, or all these things that, children enjoy doing as child. But when you, as an adult, it seems to like, you lose that childhood, you lose that imagination part of you lose that looking at the clouds and imagining chickens. So her two books that she has out, they are Kinsey Chased Chickens. That's her newly released book. And I Don't Like Wearing Shoes. So if you have not grabbed your copies or had her in your, library or in your home or your school, whatever, to read these books or to get these books into your possession, you are missing out on some gems, right? So all of these writers, authors, or independent book publishing companies, experts, have given us tools, tricks, and not just tricks, just resources to make it as a writer. And all three of these writers are from different types of backgrounds. I have two that are married, and I have one that is not married. She's a single mom, such as myself, but her single mom journey is she has twins. Like, we be fussing with just one child, right? It's hard with one. It's hard with two. But then having twins, to have to, juggle being a mother, being a provider, then being a writer, and then, trying to reclaim her life of abundance. That's a lot that's added to the plate. That's a lot that's added to the formula here. But she writes on navigating the impossible. And so you guys, this week, oh my goodness, I have one more treat for you all on this week. This Friday, I have the one and only Pastor Bettina Bunton that will be gracing the stage with me and sharing Making It as a Writer. And I cannot wait to, dig into this conversation that I'm having with her on this Friday at 2 p.m. You want to be in the room. This is going to be like the icing on the cake. This is going to be like, Kool-Aid with your spaghetti plate. This is going to be like iced tea on a summer day. This is going to be one phenomenal conversation that is going to round everything off and give a great closing to this AuthorTube tour. Listen, if you guys were, I'm going to do this in-person event. You guys, we're going to be rocking together in person really soon, okay? So we're going to have some events that's going to be going on, and I'm going to invite you into the space because I believe that this is needed, beyond the YouTube, people that are gracing me. I want to get this out to every person that needs to understand that you can make it no matter where you are. And Bettina Bunton, not only is she she's a ministry leader. She has a church. She's also a single mom. She's also a writer. She's a, just a great community activist. She is a phenomenal woman, and making it as a writer on top of everything else she has going on in her life. This is going to be a really, really, what is the word? Earth-shattering or groundbreaking conversation that we're going to have so that you can realize your I can in purpose, business, and family. And on that note, you guys, we will be back in 30 seconds for the second half of the Q&A from my book excerpt reading. Okay, are you ready? And I will see you in 30 seconds, you guys. Hey everyone, this is Christy Angeli. We are back. I am excited about your experience, your journey, and how we are going to work together to make it as a writer. Okay. And if you do not know about me and the purpose of this show or this tour, it is for you to get familiar with me as a writer, as an author, and in my book, understanding the purpose behind my book and the writings behind my book, and asking those questions and answering those questions so that you can just become more familiar, because this is not the only book that's getting ready to be released, okay, that has been released. There's more books to come, and I want you to know what you are in for, the type of writer I am, the type of person I am as an author, and what you can expect. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and jump into the writing part, okay, or the Q&A part, because I want you to get the most out of this particular, out of this day. So I am going to read to you a question from my book that I have. And so we are going to I'm going to give like real right here and now questions or answers to some of the questions that I have in my book that I ask you all to take time out and answer. When you have this book, it helps you to discover who you are on a greater level, understanding your purpose, understanding how you go through your struggles, understanding how you interpret what you're going through, how you are receiving the wisdom from what you're going through. So this particular question I am going to be answering is let's see, I'm just going to pick one. I'm not even going to just try to like find my favorite one. Wherever my hand lands on the question, that's the question we're going to answer. Okay, we're going to do it like that. All right. So, okay, this one is: do you believe you have established healthy boundaries in your life so far? Why or why not? What are some things you may need to change? Do I believe I have established healthy boundaries in my life so far? Yes, I have healthy boundaries in my life, and there are still some tweaking that needs to be done, because I am still growing. I am still learning. I am still, exploring life and everything that comes with life. But as for right now, the stage that I am in my life, the person that I am right now in my life, I have some pretty healthy boundaries. I love my boundaries. I have had people to want to tear down my boundaries because it didn't fit them and fit where they were or how they wanted to be in my life. Okay. And so they wanted to be in my life a certain way, and my boundaries did not work with them. Okay. So some of the boundaries, let me just be more, I guess, if you want to know, like, what are some of the boundaries that I have in my life? So some of the boundaries I have in my life are, some real practical ones, like, don't call me or text me after a certain time. 9:00 is my cutoff time. Okay. Because that's my time. Well, actually, it may be a little bit before that, maybe about 8:00, is my cutoff time, because I spend time with my children at night. So after I get done with my day of working and answering questions and involving with, clients and A, B, and C. So I have to have a cutoff time. And my cutoff time, I may have time to talk to, people, on the phone at a certain time, but after a certain time, I do have a cutoff time. I don't really answer questions or respond to people after, I'm going to say a good solid 10:00. But 9:00, I start dwindling down on my answering questions or talking to people on my DM or calling me or A, B, and C. So I do have a cutoff time. 10:00 is a strong, like, you won't be getting a response from me, because that's my time to, I probably be asleep by then, or I'm just unwinding. I'm just, allowing the day to really, pass through my mind and reflecting. So that's my personal time. And that's my time that I want to honor to myself and, and give myself, that time, that quality time to just be with Christy. So that is one of my boundaries. Another boundary that I do have is relationships. I would say, let's see, what do I have as far as boundaries in relationships? You can't talk crazy to me. I don't want to talk crazy to you as far as having healthy conversations, understanding what a healthy conversation is, understanding how to, we talk about our day, we talk about life and plans, and especially if it's girlfriends I'm talking to, I don't do gossiping. I don't do slandering anyone else. I don't do talking about anyone else. I don't do anything that is going to give an open door for the enemy to come in and start chaos, right? So I keep my conversations pure. I keep my conversation healthy. I want to say I enjoy healthy conversations. I enjoy conversations that are going to build, that's going to help give life and strengthen and give solve problems. So if you bring me if you come to me about somebody and what they're doing, you are going to get from me, oh really, let's pray about it. We're going to pray about that person and pray for that person and not about them. We're going to pray for that person and ask God to give them strength, ask God to give them direction, ask God to lead them and, protect them. And we're going to pray about what they're going through. Let's see what we can do to help. So my questions, my answer or my response to unhealthy conversations is to bring it into a healthy perspective and to change the minds of how we are seeing people and their go-throughs and their struggles, because as I like to say, we are all, there's a soul, they still are souls that need to be saved. I'm still a soul that needs to be saved and delivered and set free on so many levels, so I'm not here to judge anyone and how they are going through their go-through, but I am here to, help, extend a helping hand and show that compassion and show that love. What is another one that you would like to know? Another boundary that I do have in my life? I don't accept every person into my space. I don't accept every type of people or character or every type of conversations. As I stated, that's one big one for me. Conversations that people have into my space. I do protect myself. I do protect my my surroundings, what goes into me, what goes, what I don't want to be a trash can for everyone. I'm not a garbage can. I am not a doormat. I am not a, just something that you could feel like I'm gonna talk this way or do whatever, even with just walking over me without any regards that of my who I am as a person, with no respect. So even when it comes down to use of profanity, I'm not going to check you on your profanity, but I carry myself in a way that you will know that I don't curse. And nine out of 10 times I've had people to respect that I don't curse, and they just don't do it around me, and that doesn't take away from us having a good conversation. But if you just continue to, oh, I don't care, oh, everybody does this and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm not everybody. So because I'm not everybody, then I'm not going to treat myself like everybody. And I don't want you to treat me like everybody. And I'm not going to treat you like you're everybody. So that's a few boundaries that I have, and how I carry out those boundaries without being I want to say a snob about it, without being stuck up about it. And a lot of people know me who are really, been in my circle or whatever. They know I'm not a snob. They know I'm not stuck up. I can get down with you. I can ha ha he and all those great things. But when it comes to, who I am as a person, I still carry myself in a way that I want to show respect, and I want to receive respect. So those are some few boundaries, even when it comes to my children. So boundaries as a parenting. So there are different boundaries I have. Boundaries in dating, boundaries in relationships, boundaries as a parent, boundaries, how I commune with people in ministry and business. So if you want to just break it down into every other area of my life in boundaries, I have boundaries, you guys, and pretty healthy boundaries that I really enjoy, that they're out there, and I don't mind living up to it. One of them is my relationship with Christ, and I put that first and him first, and I live by the word of God. And so therefore everything else that is not, like, hey, in the boundaries of a healthy relationship with Christ, then yeah, we're checking that at the door. So so there are different areas of my life that I do have boundaries, and how I set them up, it just depends on what I want to receive, what I want to give out into the universe, what I want to give out into the world, how I want to show up, how I want people to feel loved, how I want people to feel comforted, how I want people to feel as if they are valuable, if they are needed. And so all my boundaries are not about me, I, because that sounds so selfish. My boundaries are also about the other person, how I'm making the other person feel, how I'm making the other person, feel involved, feel as if they are needed, wanted, loved, and all those good things. So my boundaries are a two-way here. It's not about me, it's not about I, all those things. So I have a healthy boundary to reciprocal, I would say, that is a reciprocity type of boundaries that I do have. So let's see what else this question have. Why or why not? So I answered that I do have boundaries, and I told you the why. What are some things you may need to change? What are some things that I may need to change? That is a very good question. That is a very good question. What are some things that I may need to change in my boundaries? I don't think right now I haven't seen where I need to change anything in my boundaries, because I try to make sure that my boundaries are healthy, not toxic. Not saying they're healthy in a toxic manner to where I'm protecting myself and I'm shielding myself from hurt and pain. My heart is open. So I love people, and I love community. I love, being around people. I love energy from people. So it's not the fact that I'm protecting myself from people, and my boundaries is to set up like, oh, you are this bad person, or this situation is horrible, because I welcome people into my vicinity or to my space, because that's how I learn. That's how I grow. That's how we, understand how God created us, and people are beautiful. So, and even those that are, bless the ones that, Lord, I just bless the ones that the minds are not all together right now, but they are still a soul. And so I still look at people as a soul. And so what boundaries do I need to change? I don't know. I don't really, I honestly don't see where I have boundaries that I need to change, because I'm pretty solid with my boundaries. I love my boundaries, and I feel like people respect me because of the boundaries that I do have. And so I'm good with that. So that's all the questions that I have that we're going to be talking about on today, that we're going to be releasing. And I hope you have enjoyed this AuthorTube tour, the Q&A from my book excerpt reading. I know the reading that I did on last Saturday was the fact that, let me find it for you. I had a highlight. I think I highlighted that particular one, and I didn't really answer a question from that particular reading that I had. So if you have a question that is from that particular reading that I did on Saturday, feel free to drop it in the comments below, and I will answer that question for you. Okay, so if not, you guys have a wonderfully blessed day. Thank you so much for joining me on my AuthorTube tour. And you know how we do. We end the same way we come in, right? So that's with just a little bit of dancey dance. Okay, are y'all ready? Let's turn this music up. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Again, I wish you guys a very prosperous day. And as you write your book, write it where someone else wants to read about it. Okay? Write your story for the next person to receive their breakthrough, to receive their healing, to receive, a laugh, or to receive a new way of thinking. So write it for the next person. I love you guys. Have a blessed day.